Welcome to Uncontained episode 163. I'm your host, Aaron Static Render, and on the show today, I speak with a filmmaker from North Carolina. His name is Garin Willson, and he's currently actually working on a feature film called Jeb, which we'll talk about as we get into the show, of course. And it is actually an LGBTQ film, and he also has a short that he's working on producing as well and directing, writing, and all that fun stuff. So he has really high goals for that one. And he is shooting for an Oscar in the short film category. And he talks about how you can get your film registered for that as well, and what qualifies your film to be eligible for an Oscar. And Garin, although a young filmmaker, has a lot of valuable advice for up and coming filmmakers that are listening to this episode. That is all coming up. I also want to let people know on Saturday, April 27th, I will be La Estrellita in Oakland with Ace Boone Hilarious Fridays. I'll be actually taking the stage and getting up doing just a couple minutes, but getting back on stage, a goal of mine that I've been talking about on the show for a while. So I would love to see you all there. If you are in the Bay Area, come on out, hit me up for tickets, and I'll get you set up. And I would like to thank the people who have been clicking on the Amazon banner at the top of my Uncontained website and helping support the show that way. So please continue to do so. If you haven't, I would appreciate it. Now, I won't keep you waiting any longer for this conversation that I have with Garin Willson. How are you doing today, Garin?
I'm doing all right, man. How about you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show today and talking a little bit about what you have going on, how you got into film. So let's just get started here. Could you just do a little brief introduction for the uncontained audience?
I was born and raised in North Carolina. I haven't really been into film for that long. I'm probably like 5 years now. Um, I started back in high school, and what's going to surprise you is I'm actually 19 years old. I'm pretty young, but I've done a lot of things for myself. I've worked on multiple projects from short films to feature films. I actually work right now in broadcast. I work for a pretty big news company. And there's just a bunch of other different ins and outs. And I've been doing it for about 4 to 5 years now.
What was it that triggered your interest like 4 or 5 years ago about shooting? Did you realize you had a talent, or was it just like that looks like fun?
It was more of just that it looked like fun. I always would watch YouTube videos, I guess, and always saw these like cool badass videos basically. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to make one of these. I want to learn how to do it. And I started to I bought a drone and started filming that because it's pretty popular at the time when drones started coming out. But everybody was buying, around Christmas time, cheap drones and everything. And I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna buy a drone, I'm gonna get me something nice.
Yeah.
So I dropped about a grand or so into a drone and started creating some videos, and it started to be pretty fun doing that. And then I was like, okay, so I have a drone now, and most of it's like aerial and everything like that. Even though I've started to learn that I can use this for other applications of it, just because of budget or other things that you can use the drone as handheld. Because right there you
Okay.
have a gimbal and everything in a 4K camera for something, and I've seen it done on other things where they'll actually catch drones and for a longer shot or something. And so I finally realized, I was like, you know what, I'm going to get another camera. And I purchased my first DSLR and started practicing with that and just learned a bunch of different things with that.
All right, very cool, man. So take me through. What was your first creation?
I still have it on YouTube. The first thing I probably did with that drone was I took it above the tree line. So we got a lot of trees and stuff and mountains and everything in North Carolina. And I filmed like a 30-second video of just going over trees and learning a little bit about that.
All right, so I was looking around online. I've seen you do like a wide variety of work. It seems like you go from hip hop videos to a short film I saw called Awaken. So, are you trying to go after a certain genre of film, or are you just kind of experimenting right now?
It's more of experimenting, I guess. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I like doing, and there's a mix of it of like music videos are fun and all, but do I really see myself doing music videos most of the time just for fun, and making some money at it and working with some of these bigger artists and stuff, and it's sort of the lifestyle I don't want to live. I don't want to just be shooting music videos all the time. I want to work on big feature film budgets, and it's nice to have a big budget because right now, I'm at the stage where I'm starting to get into bigger budget stuff, but it's one of them things where you're basically taking something like a light. You might be able to have it with this big budget, but when you're indie filmmaking and doing these type of things, you're rigging stuff, whatever you can come up with for the cheaper version. But it's a whole lot easier when you have the money there to use that tool necessary to get the job done. Instead of you trying to duct tape something or use a curtain or something for silk or a diffusion or whatever you're trying to do.
But being on a budget makes you all the more creative in how you shoot.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It does help get an idea of what's going on and trying to stick with it. So when you do get the tools, it's like a slide, like a breeze almost. Like you're like, okay, I need this tool. Okay, I can use this tool. It's there.
Then it's almost not fun anymore. You don't have to be creative about creating something. It's like, oh
Well,
man,
there's
that's
all
almost too easy. It's boring.
even with some of the other bigger stuff I've worked on, it's still fun because there's always problems. That's one thing that I've noticed in filmmaking. There's always going to be a problem that arises, and the team, gets the job done. Um, they're trying to put together like whether you're behind on time or something. You're always trying to fix a problem that's
And with film, you have a lot more problems than just like than audio does. Audio just has like the audio problems, but with film, you have like the said audio problems, and then you have to be like, oh, we gotta catch the sunlight just right, or all of that stuff too. So yeah, double the senses, double the problems.
yeah, definitely. There's all sorts of things that can happen.
So you mentioned that you were talking about are working with some bigger named artists. So who have you worked with?
Um, Mostly just lower budget, local artists, trying to make a name for themselves as well as me trying to help them. They help me grow. Um, and some of them take it serious and some others don't. That's what I feel, at least. I'm trying to do my best that I can, but if they're not willing to put in the work as well, it kind of goes hand in hand. I feel like it makes me look worse, in a way.
Yeah, if they're doing half-ass job on their own video, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. Not naming names and stuff. I've tried to direct people, and all they cared about was hanging out with their friends or getting into other things that they shouldn't be doing, especially when they're paying me, spending money, and they're not even listening to anything that I have to say. Especially when you pay me to direct and do things, and I've tried to tell you multiple times, but you don't seem to want to cooperate with me, and it just makes my work look pretty bad when I can't get the results that I wanted.
Yeah, yeah, and that does suck. You could shoot everything correctly, or it could be vice versa too. Like if they are doing everything correctly and the cinematographer isn't doing everything correct, one you need both of them to make it look good.
Yeah, it definitely takes hand in hand with everything. Just even a crew, if you have a crew, knowing people, that's another thing. Relationships matter, um, definitely in the film industry, and knowing people that you can rely on and know what they're capable of to get the right job done and everything to go easily done, basically. And so everything turns out really well.
Definitely. So I was talking to you a little bit before the show, and you were saying something that I'm kind of impressed with. It's good to have goals, and this is kind of an awesome goal right here. The next project you're putting out, you're shooting for an Oscar.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's one that probably a lot of people joke around and be like, kind of like that's a big thing. So try
It,
to do what you can and do the best that you can. And I want to win an Oscar. I know I won't be the youngest or anything. There's other people that win them, but I would like something to showcase my work and to make a name for myself and everything.
yeah, yeah, that'd be really cool, man. And you said they have like a short film category, correct?
Yeah, they as far as I know, what I've read, I've tried to read a bunch of rules, and they all have their certain qualifications, this certain this, but I'm pretty sure they have a short film for live action, and then they have a short film for animated. But I definitely what I'm working on is a short film for the live action.
All right, perfect. And like, can you talk much about what the film is yet, or any hints or anything going on with the film that you can share?
Yeah, I can definitely share with you. It's still in pre-production, so nothing is like finalized or anything. It's still going through some different things, and so it's about this guy that he basically I want to say it's a comedy drama. I'm actually writing it and producing it, and I have a co-producer as of right now, and he's worked on quite a few things. Um, and actually, this week we have a film festival I'm going to, and he's releasing one of his projects that he worked on called Replica Raid 2, which is it's almost like a silent film, but it's not.
Hmm.
But you go check that out. It'll be I think on YouTube April like 10th or something like that. Um,
So is it like a
but
silent film, but they talk?
no, it's more of
Like, how
it's
can it be like a silent film but not? I just needed to get a little clarity on that.
it's like a silent film, but it's 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 hard to explain. I feel like it's a silent film,
Is it
but
like a silent film, like kind of feel like, say, like you watch a Charlie Chaplin movie or something like that, and
yeah,
he's kind of running around like the tramp, like spinning his cane and stuff, and just kind of shot like that, but or like I don't know. I guess I'm trying to grasp it with my mind.
yeah. Basically, it is. It's honestly like a silent film. There's no like dialogue or anything besides like maybe a scream or something like that. It's
Okay.
it's it's about this guy that like chases himself or something, or maybe I shouldn't say chases himself because I'm not exactly 100% sure.
All right. Well,
I
he
don't want to give it
chases
away.
something, or something chases him,
Yeah, over this
and like there's
picture.
a big chase scene of him running around in circles in the living room. Am I guessing closely?
It's sort of like that. It's a car chase.
All right. So let's talk about your short again. Does it have a name yet? What name should we
Um,
listen to when the Oscars happen?
it was the lottery project, just straight out because I didn't have a name, but I think it's going to be called the Machine. And so it's about this guy that wins the lottery over and over again. But every time he wins, so it's like a common thing that he wins over and over. He just keeps winning the lottery. But anything with that ticket of him winning comes back, or he can't turn it in. Everything's interconnected. It's supposed to be a comedy. I want it to be very brutal, kind of like it's just like a no brainer type comedy.
Okay.
It's hard to explain, but just something stupid. Like it's stupid, but it's not. But I want to have drama with it, and so it you feel connected to the character more and to the story more than anything.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about the character here, so we can get into the movie a little bit. The main character, he wins the lottery all the time, but like, what's his backstory?
Um, basically, he's just another guy living the life, or he's trying to make a name or something. He's just an everyday Joe or a
Okay.
John or anything. He's just a normal everyday wake up, go to work, I'm done, come back, do the same thing over again. But now something's thrown into a mix of it. Of hey, I got a winning lottery ticket. Now I'm gonna try to go cash this in, but everything's bad. I'm trying not to get too many details. It's not
Okay.
nothing's set in stone yet, so it doesn't. It might be a whole nother thing.
All right. Sounds good. So is this kind of based off of? Have you heard about the lottery curse?
Yeah, I've looked into some of that.
Like
Um,
when, like, yeah, somebody wins the lottery and it happens to be the worst thing that ever happened to them. Like they get scammed, friends and family comes out of the woodwork and bleeds them dry.
yeah, it's sort of like that. Like everything always is bad. Not necessarily. Some people know how to. The lottery intrigues me. That's why I think I wrote this. It's always one of the things that, what if I won? Especially like tonight, there was a drawing. I don't know if anybody won it for 750 million. Um, and some people know how to be smart with it, and some don't. But um, and I'm trying to relate a little bit to my life with trying to make it somewhere where I want to do my own thing and be known. And I'm trying to connect. And I want my audience to connect as well. I want them to be like, this is me. Like I'm working every day. I do the same thing. I go to work, um, and everything. And so you feel the struggles of that character back to you, and you can relate.
Okay.
And I want to draw my audience in like that kind of, but also I want it to be funny, kind of like a, hey, I dropped my lottery ticket or whatever, and it flew off or something like that, or it would be my luck. I win, and I had a hole in my pocket or something.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay. So I'm just trying to picture in my mind how this is going, and it's like the lottery curse, and he wins like all the time. So it's like the lottery curse mixed with Groundhog Day or something like that. But
yeah, and yeah, it definitely is, and it's it's like a reoccurring thing because only he can see it. It's a machine. How I want to do it is it's this machine that the like the very opening scene is going to be you're going to hear this jingle of this like in a gas station or wherever, um some store, and you hear this ominous music and a jingle of the lottery machine going off, and it's like an evil type, and you just
okay.
hear it going off, and it's like really dark, and you're just creeping in onto it and like going through it basically, and then you come out to the next day. I want to grab my audience as soon as they um see the very beginning, so they're intrigued by it and wondering what the hell is this.
Yeah, that sounds kind of cool, man. Kind of mysterious in a way, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that. And for getting that submitted to the Oscars from all the way in North Carolina, how does that happen? Like, I
Uh,
thought like Oscars you had to be nominated and stuff like that. But can you submit for Oscars, or does the short still have to be nominated?
to get a nomination, how it works, as far as I know, I'm not 100% sure. I've been reading up on it, and there's a bunch of different things, technical ways of like file formats and different things like that. But besides that, I think there's three ways to enter. You get accepted and win an award through like Sundance
Okay,
or some of the bigger film festivals, and then there's another one where you can rent out a theater, and I think it has to be Los Angeles County for I think a week. So you'd have to rent out that theater, and then you're nominated. I'm pretty sure. Um, and then there's one other way, but it's very weird because from what I've read, also is if you enter it to this film festival, you have to do it before the other one, and you can't share it through any of it online or anything, or you can't submit it to any other film festivals. It has to be certain ones picked. And
hmm.
like you can't screen either in the U.S. before you have a Canadian release, or however you do that, or vice versa. It's one of them, from what I've read.
Okay,
And don't hold me
interesting.
to it, but that's as far as I know what I've read.
I
Because
like
they
the
can't just randomly pick everything. There's so many short films that are created within a year. Everybody's having their own ideas and stuff. It's not just random. So they have these strict guidelines that follow. They pick through winning an award.
kind of wondered that, like how you get a short film noticed by the Academy, where most of the time it's like these huge Hollywood blockbusters or well financed indie films.
Yeah, definitely. Who won this year's? I guess it's this year. It was just the recent one. So I guess it was this year. I lose track of time sometimes, but the film was Skin, and it is actually pretty cool. All this stuff is interconnected, or at least who I've worked with and everything. It's pretty cool that one of the actors that was in it. No, I'm getting off topic a little bit.
No, no, that's
It's
cool.
still on this, but um, I've worked with one of the another actor that she worked on Dumpling. Um, I recently met her. I didn't work with her, but I met her through working through broadcast and stuff. I met her, Hillary Begley. She was like the aunt or something on the Dolly Parton movie, and it was pretty cool that I met her. But one of the actors, one of the like supporting roles or something like that, I she worked on the film that won the Oscar this year and everything for the live action, which was called Skin, and it was like a racial kind of thing that the guy. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's pretty intriguing.
You know, I
Um,
have heard of that. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, though.
it's pretty good.
Okay, cool. And I just must add this into I like the way you say theater. Like you're like I do not notice a southern accent at all until you got to the word movie theater. Like I noticed in the South, it's like every letter in theater is pronounced.
I have a southern accent on certain things. I catch it and try not to be, and it's hard because I'm trying to talk as professionally as I can and everything. I guess that's the right word because I'll say y'all or different things like that. And
I wouldn't even worry about y'all. Like I say y'all sometimes. I'm originally from the Midwest. I'm originally from Iowa. I live out here in California now, up in Northern California. But yeah, y'all is said everywhere. But with the Southern drawl, that's where y'all really stands out.
yeah, I, there's all sorts of things I'm sure I've pronounced wrong, or I have a
No,
little
no, no. I
southern
was saying
feel.
I like the way you said it, man. I have like a former coworker up here that is from Texas, and he'd say theaters are. Now I'm actually saying theater without even thinking about it. Like he said it the same way as you did. So
How how's it? Try to say it normal, I guess. For
okay, say it normal. Theater. Say it without the A. Say it without the A.
theater. It sounds so weird. I don't like it. It's funny because I just worked with some people that were born and raised in Los Angeles. We did a short film recently um, called Dig, which was like a thesis film project from USC, the one of the cinema
Okay.
art schools in Los Angeles, and they I worked on as a PA and did some stuff with them, and all they cared about here was barbecue and Waffle House and everything. It, so it's pretty funny and seeing different things, even like grocery bags, like plastic bags. They were like, these are free, and
Yeah, they every place in California now charges 10 cents for a bag.
yeah, it's weird because it's funny the simple things that I enjoy or that are easy to me. It's even like they couldn't buy liquor at CVS because we don't. You have to sell it at like an ABC store that's like devoted for liquor. You can buy beer and stuff
Oh,
at Walmart, but you can't just go into CVS or any other store unless it's an actual liquor store
so
and
is
everything.
Does North Carolina have like dry counties and everything like that, or
I don't think dry counties or anything. They have just certain rules, like where you can't. I think there's one where you can't sell alcohol on Sunday until after 12. And then, I might be wrong about that, but then,
I've heard stuff
um,
like that places, or there's some places that don't sell it on Sunday or whatever. But what are you supposed to drink for the game, right?
yeah, I don't know. But they have that, but most, like, you can buy beer and stuff at like Walmart, but any hard liquor like whiskey or moonshine or anything like that, then you have to go to an actual dedicated package liquor store or anything like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'll hop right back on track here. Making films in North Carolina, what would you say is the biggest challenge of making films out where you are at?
Honestly, like everything. Uh, it's pretty hard, and it's kind of nice that I have Atlanta that's close by, and Atlanta's kind of growing, um, and everything. But it's honestly hard where I am. I'm in like the Asheville area, so near the Biltmore and different things like that. And we're known for beer
Okay.
here, and we're trying to get artsy, I guess, but it's not anything. Nobody takes it serious around here, I guess, to a certain degree. And it's hard to work. One thing I noticed with working with other people that aren't are from around here, especially when they come from LA, they have these opportunities. As I feel like that they have people that they can work with and know what they're doing. Here, it's more of like you have some people that know what they're doing, and then that actually like do this for a living, that want to you know make something out of it, and then you have some of these other people that know a little bit about it, but they're just kind of it's a hobby to them that
Yeah.
and it's hard to like work with the people like that sometimes to figure it out. And like when I worked with these people from LA, they came in, everybody had a job to do, and they did it. You don't have to check up on them. You trust them. They know what they're doing. When you say hand me a C-47, you get a C-47 if you know what I'm talking about. C-47 is a clothespin, just a film term.
Ah, okay. I did not know that. For some reason, in my mind, I was picturing a
No,
microphone, but C-47 is a clothespin, huh?
yeah, but it's a clothespin. And some of this also helped me. I was intern at the Asheville School of Film, which it's not a degree program. One of I guess, the director, the owner of it, he's a really nice guy. I really enjoyed working with him. His name's Brad Hoover and everything, and he mentored me a little bit and helped me um, get deeper into the film industry, and I really appreciate him. He helped me learn some terminology and different things like that. But it's a struggle here and it sucks because I'm trying to move to LA just because I want to surround myself with people that know what they're doing and that are dedicated to working with it. And I want people that are better than me. I don't want to be somewhere like I watched this video of this Quentin Tarantino he watched or he was saying he's like doing a speaking thing and he's like get out of Loserville. He's like if you want to make it, you got to get out of here. You got to go somewhere. You got to do things, and then you also don't want to be the big fish in the small pond. You want to be the big fish, but in a bigger pond, basically.
Yeah.
Or something like that, so you can grow and everything. Which I definitely agree, and I kind of feel like that around here. That you have some people that know what they're doing and take it serious, and there's other people that are just here for fun. They're a hobby. They don't have like an interest into it to a certain degree of where I want to do this full time. In which I actually, technically, I do work full time doing this. I work on the side and do things of, film, and then also I work in the broadcast and part of things, which is field related in a sense. It's a little different, but it helps me just be around and learn stuff.
It's awesome that you're actually able to be doing what you want to do full time between the film and the broadcast news work that you're doing. And you know, um, when are well, let's do this. When are you planning on moving out to California?
Um, Hopefully pretty soon. I'm trying to slowly progress. Um, there's a lot of things even with the news, we own a bunch of stations, so I'm trying to use that as a to help me to move and everything.
Okay, yeah, that'd be awesome.
So it's a little cheaper, and everything. Hopefully,
Now, how long have you been doing film?
I've been doing this about 4 to 5 years.
So, in your 4 to 5 years of film experience, what advice would you have for somebody who is looking to either get started in film or take their career to the next level?
Honestly, I would. This is kind of a vague answer, but I would honestly say just go do it. That's a hard thing for me to comprehend because I like to procrastinate a lot, and because there's always things that I'm like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, but even like the Oscar, it's like go do it. Like nobody's stopping you from doing it. Go do it, but yourself. You
Very
can
true.
like if money's an issue, there's ways to work around that. If you have a cell phone, I know everybody has one, so just about um, it has a camera. It has things. It might not be the best quality, everything, but some of this technology is starting to compete and everything. You don't have to have a red. You don't have to have um, the Ari, I call it a Ari, Alexa or anything like that. You go do it with what
Yeah.
you have, and it's hard to not get caught up in the gear and different things because, of course, I would love that new red 8K helium and everything, and new Zeiss lenses and this and that. But look at the money, like how much did you really just spend? And you might use it, and make some money back, but you can't just buy that out of pocket. And a lot of people rent things. You can rent things for like 4 days for like $300, and you could rent, that $80,000 camera instead of dishing out $80,000, even though that you might invest it and you'll make more money back over time. But that's a long-term investment. It's not going to be tomorrow, even though it could be. That's another hard thing to realize that I could, even from this podcast, you don't know who's listening. You don't know who's watching.
Very true.
Um, you could get a phone call tomorrow. Hey, I heard your project. We would love to talk more about it. I'm an executive producer that can finance your film. You don't know these things that can happen. And then tomorrow also might be your last day. Yeah, so you just got to go do it. And that's what's driving me now. Instead of working on other people's things, is I want to do my own. And talking about that earlier, like you might be working on this other person's music video, but if they didn't put in the effort and time just like you did, it might turn out very bad, and you're not proud of it. And I'm, of course, not proud of my own work, but I'm very hard on myself. And a lot of people tell me don't be so hard, but
Did you
it
say
kind
you're
of
not
is my
proud
own.
of your own work?
Some of it I am. It's not everything though. It's one of them things like I always want to be better,
Well,
and
that
that's
that's actually kind of good in a way, but not that you're not proud of your work. I think I don't know. Like if I go back and listen to one of my first episodes that I did, I'm maybe slightly embarrassed by it, or like I'm like, oh wow, I'm so much better today than I was. But the good thing is that you're improving, so that looks like subpar work to you now. So I think I I'm not telling you how to do it, but I think it's good to like even be be proud of where you started and that you have came to where you're at now.
I definitely am. That's what I wasn't trying to say it like that, but I for some reason I'm very hard on myself with that because I know I can do better,
Yeah,
and I just haven't
understandable.
had these opportunities that I want to have. Like I always want to be there tomorrow than I am today, and it's just I know it's bad in a way, but it's also good. If it's, and I'm trying to listen up a little bit. And it takes time for all this stuff. It's like everybody starts out at zero. It's just like you start that new Instagram account. You might have zero today, but within that next couple years, you might have 30,000 followers or something like that. And it doesn't just happen overnight. In some cases, it does. It's happened occasionally, but it's rare. Some of these people have to work towards it. It's like you. You said you've been doing this for 3 to or however
Yeah,
many
just
years.
over 3 years. At the beginning of March, end of February, it was 3 years.
So see exactly, it takes time to grow a following, and it's hard to keep up with everything. Everything's changing. All the technology is changing. What may be popular today might not be tomorrow. Um, so
Exactly, man. Exactly. And as a one person, you can only do so much of your own online stuff, your own social media, and still creating the product that you're trying to promote. So I have much respect for anybody who actually gets out there and creates something. So and that's kind of why I started this show in a way, in order to help promote other people that are actually out there and creating something like yourself, sir.
I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely networking, helping each other out. It's very important. One day you might work with this person. It's like now I worked with this one guy, and he might be my roommate or something within the next couple of months because I was friendly with him and we seemed to get along. And he's he works on a bunch of different things. He works on some of the Jack in the Box commercials. He's a
Oh,
grip and everything.
cool.
Um, he's a really nice guy, and we talk back and forth and everything. And so it's nice to make these connections, especially when you have someone to help you out.
Definitely, definitely. Networking is huge, dude. Networking is huge, and you never know who you're talking to. So we've touched a little bit on social media. I'm not doing any transitional stuff. I'm just jumping right to the next question. You talked about social media and Instagram and your website and stuff. What are you doing currently to promote yourself?
Well, it was like the other day. I recently on Instagram I created just a simple video. Um, it probably took a couple hours because I was messing around doing other things, trying to film myself and everything. But I eventually made this small little. I mean, to me it looks professional. It's just a simple video, like a 3 second, 5 second video of this product that I was just practicing on, trying to get some just to practice with lighting and different things like that, and just to try to get me to stay focused on different things. And I'm trying to get slowly back into it, just constantly promote, just showing something that I've done, showing this and everything. And then now, since I'm working on this film, The Machine, I'm trying to slowly just focus on that because I want it to be big. I want to give everything to it, and see how it goes. For all I know, it might never get done. I don't know. Things happen, but I want to stick to it and try to be the one that everybody knows that I did that. And
Definitely, dude. I'm actually kind of excited to see the machine. Do you have any clips of that up yet, or
nothing's done with it. It's just in pre-production. I've been trying to gather a crew, um, and everything, and one of my co-producer. We're just working back to back on it and discussing. We're having meetings occasionally on it, and I'm trying to slowly write it because I'm not a writer. I absolutely hate writing. I hate sitting at a computer or anything, and even editing stuff. I'll be honest. I kind of hate editing. I'll do it, but I don't want to do it the rest of my life. It's almost like I have ADD or something, but I don't.
yeah,
But I just don't like sitting for a long time, and I get distracted with other things. And that's another hard thing, especially because I have most of my stuff at the house. I don't have a dedicated space to work in and to try to drive myself away from distractions of like I have an Xbox, I could be playing that over and playing with my friends versus working on this and different things
definitely
like that. Um, but everything's going slowly but surely. And I have 2 years within. I don't know. That's another rule. You have 2 years to submit or be nominated or whatever for an Oscar. So you could make it and it come up not this year but next year or something like that. And so I'm just slowly trying to work on it and progress and make decisions about it. That I think with my experience, I know what I'm doing. And I'm not actually going to direct it. He's my co-producer. I think is going to direct it. I'm going to let him have the opportunity to direct it after we discuss things. Even though I'm going to have the say so over most of it, and it's hard to with these small budget stuff and everything. It's, when you don't have the crew that you need because it's almost like you have certain people that focus on certain things and on these larger budget and more crew and everything. Everybody has a job. You have department heads and different things like that. And, they have their specific job. You're not trying to focus on everything. And with the lower budget things, you're taking on more roles than just one, particular thing that you're trying to focus on, which is sometimes bad. Um, but it gives you experience with different things as well.
for sure, dude, for sure.
It's like me. I've done multiple different jobs. I've directed, produced, um, I've done sound. I've edited some stuff, um, and it, I've done a little bit of everything. Um, and it's harder when you don't have that crew because you're taking on different roles. But I'm going to give him the opportunity to direct it. And I work well with his name's Ted, and
Okay,
he actually he does a little bit. He has his own type podcast or thing, type YouTube. He does comic book reviews and different
okay.
things like that. He works with this group.
Well, if you do, you know the name of his podcast or show?
Um, I think yeah, it's Watchtower Database. He
Watchtower Database. All right.
yeah, they
Shout
have like
out
30.
Ted and Watchtower Database. What were you
Yeah,
saying?
they have like 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, I think.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's like three other guys. It's like him and two other ones or something. And they like review comic books, but he does that. And but he just finished editing and getting everything finished for his replica raid. There's a replica raid one. I didn't work on that one, but I did for replica raid two. I did some drone stuff and PA'd around and some behind the scenes and everything like that. But yeah,
All right. Very cool, man. And that's awesome that you're like letting them get a little directing experience in and everything. But now, what would you say would be a highlight or two that you care to share with the uncontained audience?
yeah, definitely. I have a couple. Um, since I do all this stuff, short films, the music videos, and everything, you get a bunch of opportunities to go places, do things that not a lot of people get to do. Um, like one of them with the music video, even though you can't see it, but we were in a penthouse suite, you know, I get to
Okay.
chill up there and everything, and you know, I get to press that P on the elevator and all the way up to the penthouse suite. I get that experience of different things like that, going places, seeing things. I've been to these broken down asylums and different places like that, and got to work on I worked on a feature last year. It's not out yet. It's almost done. Called Jed. Um,
I
it's
saw
a
you
horror
posted
film.
on that on Facebook. I didn't get a chance to check out. Like, is there trailers out for that?
Yeah, I think there is somewhere. Um, like I said, it's hard to keep up with everything, and I'm in multiple different secret groups of what I have and what I don't have, and so a lot of different things are online. You can check out. Usually, you can. It's not hard to find them. There's that I worked on. I got to go to a broken down asylum that was like a hospital that over the years it got I think it burned down almost, but got to work there. Um, Another time,
What were
some
you
of the people
shooting there?
some flashback scenes of on the feature film that I worked on Jen and everything. It's a horror film about this. Hold on, and it's an LGBTQ film. And supposedly we're going to try to get some distribution on that, some different things. We're going to try to maybe do the film festival route, and it hopefully will be on Netflix and Hulu and different platforms eventually when it finally gets finalized. But I think
Definitely.
right now it's close to getting picture lock, and then it's going to go ahead and sound and a bunch of different things. Um,
Right, man. That's cool. I'll have to check out Jed.
yeah, it is a fun project. I think we shot it in 10 days, something like that. We had a little bit of layaway, or leave room, or something, whatever you call that, from where we were planning on to get finished, but we had to push back a little bit due to some rain and stuff of what we needed to get shot in that time frame. But it was a fun experience. I got to hang out with people. I get to meet different people. I get to one of the guys that was on Jed. He does a lot of background for The Walking Dead,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, which is filmed in Atlanta. You
I'd
know,
like to be a zombie on that show, man. I'd
he's
like
not
to
a
be a
zombie.
walker
He's a he's one of the survivors. For what's his name? I haven't watched that show in forever.
with
Um,
Negan
yeah, that's it.
or the
Yeah,
Saviors.
yeah, it's the savior. Well, it's Megan's army or something like that. I think.
Yeah, like Negan has like the Saviors. Those are his people that follow him or he dictates over or something. Uh, so yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because they're shooting a lot of stuff down in Atlanta right now because of the tax breaks and everything like that. So, do you ever get to go down to the Walking Dead set?
No, not personally. I've thought about trying to do a little acting, maybe, to see what it feels like on the other side. So I've almost applied to some casting places that do a lot of The Resident. I think it's kind of like Grey's Anatomy type, that films in Atlanta and surrounding areas. they were looking for some background people. Just get a feel of what it, and say that I've been on it, and and like he was saying, the guy that's from The Walking Dead, he's like, you might not make a lot of money doing it, but everybody, it's always a job that they need and you get paid, and then they feed you really well and take care of you. And so that's nice to work with a crew that does
They feed you rotten zombie flesh, but
yeah, maybe. Uh, they do that, and then um, so I haven't. The biggest thing that I don't know. It's hard because um, I've met so many people over these years of talking to them and working on it. It's just like the thesis film. I worked with Val Kilmer's son Jack. Um, so that's pretty cool in my
yeah,
opinion.
definitely.
He did Top Gun and stuff. If you don't know who Val Kilmer is, and
Oh
he
yeah,
did
I know
like,
who Val Kilmer is. He was the Iceman in Top Gun,
yep,
and
and
yeah, also in Click Click Bang Bang or something like that. Uh,
yeah, I'm sure there's all sorts of
yeah,
things.
there's a
Even
lot of movies with Val Kilmer. He was also the Phantom, uh, but I never saw that film, so I just know that he was the Phantom. Little random trivia, but anyway, I got like two more questions left for you. Yeah, so two more questions, and then I'll let you get on about your night. And I appreciate you coming on the show. So when somebody checks out one of your films or something that you've worked on, your upcoming your upcoming film, The Machine, what do you want them to take away and feel and remember about that performance?
I want him to feel connected, especially like with the machine. Not everything I'll probably write or anything. Even though I hate writing, like I said before, but to feel connected and enjoy something they enjoyed watching. That's all I care about really is like that was really good or something, you know. It's some I guess like why do we watch movies? I guess is kind of just to enjoy it and you know what I mean. It's hard to explain, but why do you
Yeah,
like
it's
you
a
just watch?
suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, and everything like believe. It's funny because I have a friend that I talk to. She helps me out a lot. She supports me and everything, and I annoy the crap out of her with. I'll show her how behind the scenes works on different things of how he did this and how he did that, and she's like, "So that wasn't real? Are you telling me that wasn't real? I believed it." Things like that.
Oh, the magic of cinema right there, my friend. It's a wonderful thing. All right, Garen, man, it's been great having you on the show. Thank you for joining me. I know it's a 3 hour time difference for you here, so it's getting kind of late out where you're at. And I just have that one final question for you, dude. Garin Willson, how do you live uncontained?
I live uncontained by doing things. Like I said before, procrastination. Yeah, I'm bad at it, but you just got to keep on progressing and doing what you want to do. Everything's there. Go do it. So
Nice.
I'm trying to progress and do what I want to do. I want to work on bigger feature films with $1 million budgets, and work with people that are well known and do great things, and help others and different things like that. But that's how I live uncontained, and if that means that I gotta tomorrow or something pack up my stuff, all my equipment, all my everything I have, and I guess live in my truck or something. If I have to do that to where I want to see myself going, because in the long term I know it's best for me, then I'll probably do it because I'm not just gonna sit around and not do anything about it, especially when I know I can and I know I'm gonna make it. Um, and that's another thing. Don't just because you're not making money right now or anything like that with film. It's tough. I know that it's like, oh, I could make this in a day. It's nice. I got rent to pay or something,
Yeah.
whatever. But um, you know, and that's nice and all to get paid and everything. But some of that stuff isn't going to come. It takes time with that. And I know that it hurts. It's a little vice versa with different things. People, want you don't want to work for free. It takes time, it takes resources and different things like that. But you gotta start somewhere, and show people what you can do and experiment and different things like that. And that's how I look at it right now. Is like I'm doing this as a favor. One day it might make me that $20 million up front from Warner Brothers or something like Christopher Nolan. But that's
Yeah.
who also I like some of his films, Christopher Nolan and the Batman trilogy and different things like that. Getting paid $20 million up front to direct a multi-million-dollar budget
Wouldn't that be
film.
nice?
Yeah, and I feel like that'll come, but don't worry about it now, even though it sucks and it takes a lot of different things. You're sacrificing a lot, but not to get caught up all in that
That's
and
awesome, dude.
do what
I
you
like I
enjoy.
like your outlook. I like I think you're in a good spot, like with your mindset as far as for the process of getting to where you want to go.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of time, and it's not going to happen overnight. Some people might create something, or it might go viral. Yeah, it might. You never know, but um, you got to keep trying and just stick to it and not give up. Because from what I've heard and from my experiences, and some of the people that make it in Hollywood, as they would like to say, is that for every 1,000 times I've got told no or whatever for my screenplay or my script or whatever I've written, and I pitched it or anything, an idea, for all them 1,000 times I got told no, you only see 1% of my yeses, which might be that Saw, which I recently watched. One of the guys that directed Saw 2 and everything, that he basically he's been told 1,000 times no, and then you only get to see 1% of their successes that make it, and you got to keep on trying. And a lot of people are going to turn you down, but don't give up.
I like that. You only see 1% of the successes are only 1% of all their attempts that they've made, or something along those lines. It's something to put it in perspective for people who are trying to get their names out there, trying to get recognized, and yeah, it's a numbers game.
Yeah, it definitely is.
All right, dude. Well, thank you so much once again for coming on the show. I look forward to seeing your upcoming film. And can you tell me where people will be able to see that one more time?
Um, which one? There's so many of them.
Or
I'm not.
I'm just trying to where do people go watch movies?
Um, the theater.
I'm sorry. I just had to. I just wanted to hear you say theater one more time, and that just made my night. Will you do me the honor of signing off the show today, Garin?
My name is Garin Willson, and I live uncontained.
And that does it for another episode of Uncontained. Thank you for listening, and thank you to Garin for sharing his story with me and what he's working on. So it sounds like he's got a lot in the work, so you'll definitely want to check him out on his YouTube page and other social media, which I will have in the show notes for you. Yeah, I'm rooting for him to get this Oscar, man. That'd be awesome. Winning the Oscar for the short film, The Machine. So keep an ear and an eye open for that one. And yeah, 19 and all that ambition. I can see it happening, man. I'm rooting for Garin and The Machine to take home Oscar. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you have a friend that you think would enjoy the show, help them out and send a link their way and send them my way. And I appreciate any word of mouth because it's the best form of advertising that there is. So hit me up on social media, Uncontained Pod at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And until next time, live uncontained.